We are back. I'm Rasla. I'm going to be your host for the next couple of runs. Starting with Phineas and Ferb, Right Again, which we are going to play in German because of the donation incentive that got won by German. And it also opened two other donation incentives. Those are for Darkest Dungeon. You can donate for Blindfolded Hack Fight and for the Hamlet name. So please donate for that. But without further ado, good luck, Tylltoons.
Thank you very much. Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, so this is Phineas and Ferb, Right Again. Actually, I forgot to do that. Hang on, we gotta restart.
Oh, great start.
I forgot to count this down.
It's all
I was
right.
like, all right, let's just start the run. No.
Well, technically, this is Phineas and Ferb und Ferb volle Fahrt.
That's right, yeah. So there was a donation incentive that was won by German. So we're now gonna play Phineas and Ferb volle Fahrt für den Nintendo DS.
This is literally the first time I've seen the game in German ever.
Yeah, you're mainly gonna hear different Candace and Doofenshmirtz voice clips, but it's gonna be great. So, can I count me down?
Yeah, you want me to do the game? 1, go. All right.
Okay, so now we're actually starting. First one was just warm up. So this is Phineas and Ferb Right Again. This game was released in 2010 for the Nintendo DS. This is the sequel to Phineas and Ferb, which was released in 2009. And this game is very similar. What's it about is, in case you don't know Phineas and Ferb, these guys are inventors. And every single day, Phineas gets up and he says, Ferb, what are we going to do today? Well, I know what we're going to do today, rather. So then they're going to build some insane invention.
Yeah, and what do you need for good inventions? Well, a drill is important.
Drilling is important because it gets us to the toolboxes that we need.
Yeah, and as you can see, a drill can go through walls.
Yeah, that was the intended use, but it can go through walls in other ways.
Yeah, as you can see, we're going through walls, only rather than by going forward through walls, we push ourselves back using the collision of the drill. And doing that a few times allows us to push ourselves into a wall. This is what we refer to as a drill clip, and as you can see, it's very useful.
There's another really funny thing that the drill can do.
Yeah, first we're gonna... Candace will be fine. I'm sure.
Ferb will also be fine, I'm pretty sure. He's just gonna be minding his own business.
Yeah, this looks fine to me.
Yeah, this is intended.
Yeah, don't you swim in the air with the drill sometimes?
Also, I don't know why, but when you activate the animation glitch, Ferb is gonna appear and hold the X-ray goggles. Now, the X-ray goggles is an item that we do not need at all, but we have to pick it up because if we don't, the game is going to crash later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
Technically, the X-ray goggles allow you to see stuff on your top screen.
Yeah. The X-ray goggles show you the scrap piles, and then when you upgrade them later, they'll also show you the position of the toolboxes. And that was the first one. Du hast ein Bauteil für dein Skateboard-Projekt gefunden. So we're going to need 8 of them to build our skateboard. That's the first project that we're going to build.
Yeah, we're gonna make a skateboard park with like super fast skateboards. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So normally in this game, you got to pick up a bunch of screws and you got to use them to do all sorts of upgrades and repairs. Normally in this game, you're gonna encounter a bunch of broken trampolines or doors that you got to repair. And that's what you need the screws for, and you also need the screws for upgrading your own gadgets. Now, there are a lot of gadgets and a lot of repairs. I almost just lost a lot of time there. There are a fishing rod that you can get. There's a beam that you can use to move objects.
We're going to skip all of them.
We're going to skip pretty much all of it. In fact, this is the only other... Actually, that's not right. We're going to get a skateboard later as well. But this is one of the 2 gadgets that we actually need that are still part of the run. This is the jetpack. And this is going to give us the ability to double jump. Now, all of the gadgets in this game are tied to a specific character. So we're going to be using Phineas for the platforming because he has the jetpack. And we're going to be using Ferb for clipping because Ferb has the drill.
Speaking of clipping, what's coming up is like, I guess one of the most exciting clips in this game, really. See, every level has this kind of platform at the end of the level that brings you back to the start again. You don't really need to use it because you can press the start button and go back to the level with that way. But that platform then goes to the front of the level, and you can use that to skip back to the back of the level. So we
And
just killed Ferb there.
Yeah.
Gonna go up here to get another toolbox.
So the thing is, you don't need to activate the platform at the end of the world, because it is always at the beginning of the world. It's just stored very high up in the air.
Yeah, wouldn't it be a waste if we had a way to get there?
Yeah, so let's just not do that. Okay. I gotta say, I don't normally play on this DS, and I'm not used to it. I just try to hit L. There we go.
Yeah, so there's certain spots where if you... So basically, yeah, we're getting all the way up there, but how it works is that normally when a character falls off something, so like of solid ground, and you fall into water, you'll be brought back to the solid ground. Rubber boats that are on water do not count as solid ground, quote-unquote. So what you saw them doing there is that they put Ferb into basically a voided state where they fall endlessly until they underflow. And using that, they kind of messed up Ferb's coordinates so that we get brought back right above where the platform is.
I have another question. Do you know where your stylus is?
No, I do not, actually. Whoops.
Whoops. Well, if you could be so nice, could you please go to my backpack
I
and
have
get
it.
my own stylus, or get yours, because we're going to need that.
Whoops.
There are touchscreen minigames like that one, and most of them have been routed out, but you're still going to see some of these where we need to do those 3D block puzzles. In this case, we upgraded the X-ray goggles, and this is going to open up that store that we don't need. The only reason we collect and upgrade the X-ray goggles is because if we don't, the game will crash on the next upgrade. Like, your first upgrade needs to be the X-ray goggles, otherwise you will softlock, and then if you wait a few minutes, the game will actually just crash. And we don't want that, because there is one upgrade that we actually need to do.
Speaking of crashes, we found an accidental crash yesterday when we were in the hotel room.
Yeah, I don't really understand what happened there. Basically, I was playing on someone's 3DS, and I handed it to her to just test it out. She was mashing a few buttons, and suddenly the game crashed.
Fun game. Also, I did find your stylus.
Thank you very much. I'm going to need that in a few minutes. So here we're going to, as you might have noticed, we're playing the world backwards. And here we're going to clip into a subsection. Now, basically, every single world has a subsection that is part of the same world, but it's in a different level. And you can only access it through a specific loading zone. We can just clip into this part of the level to get this toolbox. And now we're going to clip back out again, drop down to the main level, hopefully not die there.
Yeah, so if they were to fall there, we get the same effect where they go all the way back to... Yeah. So how the propeller suit that brings you back works is that it cannot go through walls. So any wall, invisible or visible, will go over. And a lot of the speedrun is abusing that mechanic and finding ways to get us high up. But anyway, abgeschlossen.
Abgeschlossen.
We
That's right.
finished our first project, and you know what that
We haven't
means?
finished it yet, but we have all of the project pieces.
Well,
So now it is Zeit, mit dem Bau des Skateboards zu beginnen.
halfway there, right?
Yeah, almost done with it. So here we got to do this little mini game where we got to clean or repair all of these gadgets. Also, we used to believe that language really does not matter for this game, but I'm like 99% sure that German is slightly slower than English, because the bereit text box always stays on screen for like a third of a second longer than the English ready text box.
Luckily, we don't do that many repairs anymore. We, in fact, do not do any.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell us more about no repairs later in the run.
Yeah. But now we're gonna skateboard, and we're gonna bump into our friends, because that slows them down.
It doesn't really matter, it's just a nice way to get them out of our way. So in the first game, you actually had to collect a bunch of stars on the way. And you had to do all of the mini-games several times, because there weren't enough stars in one route. So you had to take like several routes to collect a bunch of them. In this game, that doesn't really matter. Like, there is nothing you need to collect, you just need to finish the mini-games. You can lose the races. Also, I gotta say, I am not used to this 3DS, so my mashing is really bad here. So you gotta pick up these stars, or like you don't have to, but what they do is they give you more speed, or like they let you use a speed boost. So normally, if you press B, you use up a lot of that meter in the bottom right, and it gives you a little speed boost. But if you mash really quickly by like tapping the button ever so slightly, you can get a speed boost like pretty much the entire time. Like, you'll be speeding through the entire level. I'm on pace for like 122 now, but that's all right. So the best time you can get, like when you're super optimal, would be a 119. I am on pace for 122, but it doesn't matter.
119, 122 is not that much of a difference, really.
Yeah, it's just that this game is like super optimized, so it's kind of annoying when you lose like 2 seconds.
That's true.
Also, now we're gonna lap Isabella. Oh, it's 129.99, never mind.
Well, we're done with skateboarding, which is great.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's it?
Where's Perry?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh!
There you are, Perry. Got him right here. Now, in case you don't know, the reason why Perry always vanishes is because he has a secret identity as a secret agent. And we're gonna fight the evil Dr. Heinz Doofenschmerz, as he's called in German.
Aren't they called that in every language?
But it's pronounced Doofenschmerz in English.
Alright.
But in the German pronunciation would be Doofenschmerz. And we are playing the game in German.
Yeah, I gotta get it right.
How do you say Doofenschmerz in Dutch?
Doofenschmerz, think ik.
Alright. So here we just gotta dodge these norm bots and those lawn gnomes. We have a roll that gives us invincibility, so that way we can just roll through all of the gnomes.
Yeah,
we're gonna take damage here on purpose.
as you might have guessed, there's a lot of references to the shows.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a moment. So this boss fight is one of the worst parts of the game because it's super random. What we want Doofenschmerz to do is we want him to shoot out these lawn gnomes, but sometimes he'll just not do that, and he'll gonna hit us with the bratwurst instead.
Yeah, or he'll laugh. He can also do the gnome attack without laughing, which is faster, but...
Yeah, so that's him laughing. That's also really slow. But in general, this is pretty good RNG so far. Also, unfortunately, I talked over him saying, "Verflucht seist du, Perry, das Schnabeltier." So we gotta be extra careful that we listen to that next time. Gewonnen.
Alright,
And
there
that's
we go.
the first day. So the way the show works is that Doofenschmerz's invention is going to make Phineas and Ferb's invention vanish. So the skateboard is gone, and the mom is not going to see it.
But, well, technically it's not gone. It's just, it went down from like a supersonic skateboard to like a normal speed skateboard.
Yeah, that's right. So as someone has said, this game has a lot of references to the show. The way the first game worked was that every single day was pretty much just based on one episode of the show. This game is more loosely based on the second season of the show. There are a ton of references to singular episodes in the background, but World 2 is mostly based on the episode The Chronicles of Meep. So what happens with that episode is Phineas and Ferb play with their baseball cannon, and they accidentally knock out a spaceship that's flying above Earth. And in that spaceship is an alien called Meep, looking for some guy called Mitch, who Phineas and Ferb believe to be Meep's father. And we're later going to fight that guy as Perry. But for now, we just got to repair the spaceship.
Yeah, also, please ignore the fact that we just walked through like 5 walls and stuff.
Oh yeah, we picked up the skateboard, but we haven't used it yet. Normally, you're supposed to use like several skateboard ramps there, but if you clip through the wall, it saves like 3 seconds over using them.
Also, I guess I should mention about these balloons. They come in 3 colors. You have red, which slowly floats down when you stand upon them. You have blue, which like pops a second after you jump on them. And you have yellow, which just moves around back and forth. Also, aside from walls being an illusion, did you know the floor is sometimes an illusion too?
First of all, I want to prove that that wall is an illusion. There we go.
Yeah, that fence doesn't exist. Sometimes, sometimes it does.
There are a lot of walls in this game that you can just walk through, or that one character can walk through.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb actually, like, it's funny because, like, the triangle head actually makes a difference.
That is correct. Yeah, you can use Phineas' head to clip in this game, and we're going to be showcasing that later in the game. There's a tiny wall you can clip off over here. It's kind of tight, though. There we go.
Oh, also, by the way, what we just did is we clipped into the side section of World 2. So
Yeah.
now we're going, like, we're halfway in the world already. And,
Yeah, you're supposed to get to that part of the level from World 2-3, where we are now. Now we're going to be playing through World 2-3 and 2-2 backwards. There's another thing that I just wanted to mention that I forgot about. Yeah, what do you think about the German Candace voice?
oh,
Yes, we're going to be listening to that a lot.
Oh no.
Hardest trick in the game incoming.
Oh yeah. Geez, you got it first try. Woo!
Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. In my opinion, the Dutch Candace voice is the worst one out of the ones that I heard.
I'm just too used to it. I've gotten numb to it.
I do think the Ashley Tisdale one is the best one, and the other ones, they don't hit the same. You know, here you got to watch out that you don't fall down, because you're supposed to have upgraded your jetpack by now, and that jump is kind of tight with the normal jetpack. Here you can just clip with Phineas' head by facing up, and then Phineas knows it's just going to push you through the wall, and you can just jump.
Who knew that? What time did Dan Povenmire draw a triangular kid?
1993. Oh my god.
Yeah, so in 1993, Dan Povenmire drew a kid with a triangular head, and that today, in 2022, lets us clip through that wall.
Yeah, so thank you, Dan Povenmire, for designing that character. So here we're finally going to upgrade the skateboard, not the skateboard, the jetpack. And this is where the game would normally crash had we not upgraded the X-ray goggles in World 1.
Yeah.
So what would happen is that you could play this mini game, and then Phineas would hold up the jetpack, and then the game would just freeze. And then after a few minutes, it would just crash.
So this basically adds extra hover to the jetpack. You can see there.
Yeah, we can now hover for quite some time.
It opens up a lot more tricks in the game, actually.
Yeah. Most jumps in this game you can actually just make with the normal jetpack. So that was the German Phineas.
Mm-hmm.
It does sound angrier than the Dutch one, but not as angry as the English one. I tried to go for a very precise optimization there. If you double jump at the correct timing, you can actually just barely make it to this higher ledge, and that way you can skip one pineapple. So in case you've watched the show, you might recognize this from the episode Gaming the System, where Phineas and Ferb build a video game called Run Jump Duck that you yourself can be part of, that you can teleport into. But this is not quite as exciting as the Run Jump Duck from the show, because there Candace joins with her hairdryer, and she can use her hairdryer to kill enemies. But there are no enemies in this game. Also, I stopped talking there because there's a little thing there that you activate with the microphone. So you gotta be extra careful there to not talk over it.
Yeah, funny enough, the game after this, Into the Second Dimension, is a shooter, so there's a lot of Phineas and Ferb games, actually.
There's a ton of Phineas and Ferb games.
It's actually quite funny because the thing with this game is that it's despite it being very platform heavy, most of the difficulty regarding platforming is just because of the speedrun.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, normally this game is no challenge at all.
Yeah, like here. Normally this is no danger at all, but if you mess up here, you're gonna lose a lot of time because there's a chest here, and well, if you fall down, we've got to do a repair to get back up here. 2 repairs even.
Yeah, if you play this game normally, there's going to be a ton of mini games that are just going to stop the flow.
Yeah, and those roughly take 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, so here's a rather precise propeller manipulation. We're going to clip into this house and jump through the correct wall. Okay, yeah, if you're too far left there, this trick is not going to work because the wall on the left does not have any collision, like it's visual, purely. So the propeller is just going to take you through that. But if you jump down like that, the propeller can't take you through the wall, so you just go up instead. And then it's going to try to take you down again, but when you touch the ground, the propeller gets cancelled. So that way we can just teleport up.
Also, somehow we already fixed the spaceship, despite not fixing the spaceship yet.
Yeah, so our goal is to build this, but it's already here. So we're just going to use it.
Kind of funny how that works.
Yeah. So now we are actually inside Mitch's spaceship. Mitch is a bounty hunter who kidnaps aliens to exhibit in his private zoo. And that's why Meep is on a mission to stop him. There we can just barely clip into that wall and get up just like that.
Yeah, Meep, like Agent P, is a secret agent in some form.
Yeah, most animals in the show are secret agents. Like, Meep is not part of AUKA, which is the organization without a cool acronym. But yeah, most pets you can see in the show are all secret agents, and they all have their own personal nemesis. So yeah, now we actually want to do a clip on this trampoline because the floor here is really weird because there's some sort of liquid on it that makes it really hard to clip. So you just prefer to go into that corner.
Yeah.
Here's a rather precise prop manip. So I'll get it. That looked good, but I don't know. If you're too far left, it doesn't work. If you're too far right, it doesn't work, and it's rather precise.
Well, you got it first try. Hell yeah.
That's one of the harder ones. I messed up one of the easier ones earlier, but...
I mean, you're not a top runner of this game for nothing.
I was gonna say, well, you're not a top runner of the game, so it's fine if you miss something. Yeah, also, I'm not playing on my own 3DS, so the game does feel a little bit different. But we should be fine. And we are coming up to the end of World 2. So only one more toolbox that we need to collect. And honestly, this is where the game really begins. Okay, so we're gonna do another auto-scroller this time.
Well, after the auto-scroller, the game begins.
Yeah, then there's a really annoying boss fight, and then after that, that's when the hard part of the game begins. The first half is just warm-up.
Wanna do 2-player 1C for this minigame?
We can do that. So the amount of repairs you have to do here is depending on the amount of toolboxes that you collect. So in the first world you collect 8, in the second world it's 10, and then next time it's going to be 12, and then 14 in the last world. And the pattern, by the way, is not random. You can just memorize it. I have memorized it for the first world. I have not memorized it for the other worlds. What some players like to do is they just add the pattern to their splits, so they can just check. I don't do that because I'm stubborn. I don't know. I just react, I guess.
I'm lazy. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, maybe also that. So this is a rail shooter that is a complete auto-scroller. What you got to do is you just got to survive till the end. There's going to be a bunch of robots spawning that you can destroy, but you don't necessarily have to, as long as you don't die. So if the host has anything to say, feel free to do so.
Well, of course I have something to say. We are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We're currently streaming our annual event from Hotel Asteria in Van Rij, the Netherlands. And we are raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. All of your donations will go to Mind. And if you donate to us, you can also put your donation towards a donation incentive. And if you are kind of tired of seeing German on your screen, like you're doing right now with Phineas and Ferb, well, we have also a language bid war for Good Job, which is coming up within a few hours. And at the moment, German is in the lead by 40 euros. But if you want a different language like Dutch, you have only to spend like 16 euros, and we don't have to see German in that run. And also for the run after Good Job, we actually need a category for Hot Lava all courses. Because we have the category choice between Vault Jump or Boost Jump. And at the moment we don't have any donation to it. And we need a category for this run, so please help us to pick a category.
Oh yeah, we gotta get a category in.
So there is a way you can kind of speed up the end of this minigame, which is that at the very end there's going to be a boulder spawning, and if you destroy it, the minigame just ends. So what we want to do is we want to start mashing, and you're going to do it. I can tell you when you're going to need to start mashing.
Oh,
like for this one, you just got to kill them. Like it's not quite time yet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this with one hand.
All right. So I actually use an audio cue. I just listen to the music, and I know at what point I have to start mashing. I'm going to tell you in case you don't know. Now. Very nice mashing. So that saved like 2 seconds.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Official 2P 1C speedrun of
Yeah,
this game.
we can't submit this run to the leaderboards anymore. It's not done by a single person.
Technically, this is the second 2B 1C run.
You did this before?
with my last marathon run. Strike help me mash.
Nice. Okay, so this is Mitch, who we now have to fight, and this is honestly the worst part of the run. The way this fight works is there's a timer that you can see on the top screen, and when it runs out, several terminals are gonna light up that you then have to activate, and what terminals light up is completely random.
The timer is also completely random.
The timer is also completely random, and that's the worst part. And the first phase is always 10 seconds. For phases 2 and 3, it's a random number between like 7 seconds and 25 seconds. So I just got 22.35, which is terrible. So if you see something like 10 seconds or 12 seconds, you're kind of lucky. But this is very bad.
Yeah, if you thought Doofenshmirtz RNG was bad, wait until using Mitch RNG.
Yeah, Doof was only like 10 minutes into the run. But this is closer to like 25 minutes into the run, and here you can just randomly lose 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, like, Mitch is a cool villain, but in terms of minigames, I honestly prefer Doof. All the Doofenshmirtz minigames are really fun.
Now, there is one cool tech you can do. If you run against the wall like this, and then you jump, you get a little speed boost. We call that wall boosting. 18 seconds, also very bad, but significantly better than 22.
Also, these cutscenes are amazing, honestly.
Yeah. There is a secret cutscene where if you miss a hit or if the timer runs out or something like that, you actually get to see Doofenshmirtz and Balloony. And I thought about showing that off, but I actually wasn't really able to trigger it. I tried a bunch of things. Maybe it's just random if it triggers. And it wastes a lot of time triggering it. And also, we're behind schedule, so just gotta save.
You gotta save them frames.
Yeah. Actually, I should have tried to snipe this one from the other side.
Deactiviere Ziele. Warnung. Deactiviere Ziele.
It's pronounced Ziele.
Ziele.
But nice job otherwise.
Yeah, good job is later.
Yeah. Well, 16 seconds. Saving time every single time, but this time doesn't matter. Also, I have no idea why those alien creatures can go through Mitch's shield and Perry can't. Okay. So that's Mitch. Gewonnen.
Bye, Mitch.
Bye, Mitch. So this is where the game begins. Okay. Worlds 1 and 2, they were rather simple. Not much going on. This is where the truly hard tricks are gonna come.
This is also the part of the game that I actually do not know the new route of yet, so...
Yeah.
And I heard there were a few new tricks.
There are quite a lot of new tricks. So yeah, in case you don't know, someone is one of the super old school runners of this game. You ran this game out of BSG like 4 years ago.
That's 3, I think, but yeah.
Didn't you run it? No, yeah, you ran it at Annual 2019, that's right. That's a long time ago. And this game has come a long way since then, especially over the past like year. It has changed.
You know, you're making me feel really old by saying that 2019 is long ago.
Well, if you look at this game, what this game was in 2019 and what this game is now, it's like a different game altogether. It's so different.
True, it changed a lot.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back to the end of the level again here, by the way. And of course they're not speaking right now because, yeah, they don't want to trigger Candace there.
Yeah, so this is actually the first backward strat that was discovered in December of 2019 by Zambrini.
Zambrini did a lot of this game.
Yeah. So I think now is a good time to talk about the repairs in this game, right? So when I submitted this run to BSG in April or whenever it was, there were 5 repairs in any percent. There were 2 in World 1, 2 in this world, and 1 in World 4. But the thing is, it was already possible to beat the game without any repairs for quite some time. It was just that all of the repair skips were just very slow. It was thought that skipping them was, or like doing the repairs was faster than skipping them, especially because there was one repair skip that took about 5 minutes to do. And I'm actually, this is not what I normally do, but I just thought of this. I'm actually going to go back to safety save. This is a strat that I have not messed up in ages, but just because I don't want to lose 3 minutes and we're behind schedule, I'm just going to do a safety save here.
Yeah, good call.
So can you tell us about no repairs?
Right, so no repairs is a category that in I think 2021 or 2020 I thought would be fun to do. Back then, however, we knew even less about the game, so that's when we only knew the only way to get up to certain places was underflowing. So as you might have noticed, when you fall down and there's no collision, you kind of fall infinitely until your Y position underflows. Also, yeah, the camera is really funky here. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, we clipped in that corner and jumped around the trigger that turns the camera. So no repairs used to be a category for quite some time. You actually got world record in that at a BSG marathon
I did.
in 2020, and that was the record for 2 years almost.
Was that the first run you saw of this
That
game?
was the first run I saw of this game. That's how I got into this game. And then I got record in that category like earlier this year, and then I optimized it down to like a 1:4:20. And then pretty much exactly after that run, like a few minutes after that run, Real Mim found a strategy to skip this repair.
Yeah.
And this was the big roadblock, because skipping this one used to take about 5 minutes. And this is like the most precise trick in the game, so I'm going to try to focus here. This might take a few attempts.
So the way we used to skip this was that we went to unlock Candace.
Okay, nice.
And they got it first try. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So the secret there is you want to do a nose clip and not a drill clip. So nose clips were discovered by Real Mim a few months ago. And the way it works is you basically set up for a drill clip where you go into the corner, then turn diagonally. But instead of using the drill, you just switch characters. And because I'm going to blame the DS, I tried to hit L, it didn't really work. Because Phineas has a very big nose, it's just going to push you back. And at first we thought that nose clips were very bad because they don't let you clip nearly as far as a drill clip would. However, that's actually really good, because if you want to do the trick that I just did with the drill clip, the problem is you're either not going to clip far enough, or you're going to clip too far and you're going to fall down. And there is nothing in between. But with a nose clip, you can just clip ever so slightly to the point where Phineas is going to be on the very ledge and is going to drop down. And you can switch characters and get on the trampoline. And because the trampoline doesn't count as ground, you can land on it.
Yeah. In the past, we would have to unlock Candace and do some glitch that I found where you can interrupt the Candace minigame to sometimes get an interruption mid-air. But that was very finicky, and it took a lot of time, as well as lag the game. That's why we actually skipped over unlocking Candace earlier this run.
Yeah, so there's a cutscene trigger in World 1-1 where Phineas and Ferb are going to jump down from a rooftop. And then Candace is going to be there and say, "No, what are you doing? That's way too scary." And then she's going to try to bust you. Hang on, this is very precise. That should do the trick. No, I clipped. Okay, gotta retry. And then what happens then is there's going to be a mini game similar to Pac-Man, where Candace is going to try to bust you. You can run away from her. You don't have to. You can also get caught. There's no difference. And then she's going to be watching you at all times. She's going to be on the top screen. And there's going to be a meter that depletes every... Okay, that's not right. That's going to deplete every single time you take damage. Okay, that's not good. Hang on.
Yeah, and that meter you can fill up with those microphone things that we are trying to skip.
So there's going to be items that are going to distract Candace. I'm having a little bit of trouble right now, but that's alright. I should be able to...
You can do this.
Get this trick in just a moment. Our goal is to switch characters in the correct spot. And what that does is it's going to lock Phineas behind that wall that has one-sided collision, right? So that wall has collision on the left side. And if we switch Phineas in the correct spot, he's going to go to the left of that wall, so he can't follow us. So he's essentially locked there. And then we can just go back to that death plane, jump onto the balloon, which doesn't count as ground, switch characters, and then we can teleport over here. And that skips the repair and the platforming section.
And we're already halfway in this world.
Yeah. There's only a few more toolboxes to get, but the hard part is over, pretty much.
So no repairs is now an obsolete category because thanks to this guy over here, any percent is also Nim, who's also
Yeah, Mim found the tricks, I just applied them.
you both are great, and you made no repairs obsolete. Luckily, you did introduce another ID in the form of no upgrades, which I do hope to show off one day as well.
Yeah, no upgrades is a category where I was hoping it would work, and I started to do research for it in like January. And then there were like 2 tricks that were thought to be impossible, and then Mim solved them with nose clips. Also, that way we can just skip that section with the skateboard ramp, and we don't have to do an extra clip here.
Yeah, also you can see the fishing rod upgrade in the back there.
What fishing rod?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get a fishing rod in this game? What does it do?
Well, it has, funny enough, it has a lot of properties like the drill, where if you sort of cancel the animation in a weird way, the character starts flipping out.
Yeah. And the animation glitch is actually very weird because we were looking at a memory viewer, and what it does, it just shifts the entire code to a random direction in memory. And like everything just gets filled with nonsensical code that does like nothing.
So it might actually be possible to do some kind of memory manipulation in this game.
Yeah, so we were actually able to change like specific values, but so far it doesn't really do anything. So I guess some sort of ace does exist in this game, but all it can do really is change the colors on screen when the game crashes, or we can trigger an animation where Ferb spins and then the game crashes.
I mean, honestly, it would be really cool if that's even further explored, and I don't know, it would be great to see this game break wide open.
A Billy Hatcher speedrunner called Fleet Adidas suggests that categories like green % or blue %, where the goal is to use A's to change the color of the screen to that specific color.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But the thing is, like, there are a lot of small factors that you need to consider for that.
Fair.
Like, it's even things like the position of the characters and their facing angles is kind of hard to replicate.
And by the way, so far I've been enjoying the new route of this world. It's so different than I remember.
Yeah, so like at its core it's still the same. We do the entire thing backwards, but there are a lot of skips and the repairs no longer exist.
Well, that's the funny thing. A part of this we still did forwards back then.
Okay. I feel like the German canvas just sounds so indifferent. Also, by the way, there's a really funny way you can softlock the game there. If you have triggered Candace and she's watching you and you die in that position where you just saw her, the minigame will not trigger because Candace is on screen. And whenever Candace is on screen, she vanishes from the top screen. And then you can't actually trigger the minigame.
Yeah,
now
you
we're
can
done
get
with World
stuck
12.
there.
With World 12, World 3, but we have 12 project pieces.
You know, you can get stuck there. I've had that in a run before.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great in a way, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of it's great, this next invention is the slowest minigame of them all, but it's also the most interesting one. Basically, what we're going to build is a minecart that is essentially just going to come down to a boring Mario Kart ripoff. But there is one thing we can do to save a little bit of time.
Guess what it is? Take your guesses. Is it breaking all bounds of reality and clipping outside of the space of wall and time? And oh wait, I think it's that, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't even need a drill to clip. We don't need Phineas nose. We just need a minecart.
We're just gonna ram through the wall.
So the way the minecart works is there are extra tracks that you can use, but you need custom parts for them. So you might have noticed those yellow toolboxes that I ran past, and they have like extra pieces that you can use to add certain features to your cart or to your skateboard or whatever. And they are very slow, so you don't get them. And in this game, you need them to access these extra tracks, which are marked in purple on the minimap. And guess what? We can kind of sort of clip into them. Or at least into one of them, because you can actually die in those sections, and the checkpoints are massive, and you can just fall into them. And we're gonna use that to skip a massive turn.
I'm just paying very close attention because I was informed there is something new in this minigame that I don't know about.
Perhaps there may be. We'll see. So I believe originally the minecart clip was discovered by Lizio, is that right?
Yeah, Alicia discovered that.
Yeah, so that was like almost 3 years ago, something like that.
I think we discovered. I don't know if we discovered it at BSG or no. I think it was because that was the BSG that he got introduced to this game Speedruns, and then he was excited, went home, tested a lot, and found this. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. So the thing with the minecart clip is it used to be incredibly inconsistent, and people never used it in runs until pretty much 1 year ago when I found a setup for it. So previously we would just drive into this corner and pray, but there is a visual cue that we can use, and it's the line in the top right that we can use to align ourselves, and then we just gotta pray that we get it. Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. Also, you always get a booster when you fall into those extra parts of the track.
Also, the music of this minigame I really enjoy.
I have listened to it a lot because I have practiced this a lot, and it does get old.
It does get old, but that's with everything in this game. Unfortunately, the music is very repetitive.
Yeah. We were stuck on the language selection screen before the run for quite some time because we were waiting to be informed on the result of the bit war. And like even the audio guy was complaining about the music being repetitive after like 1 minute.
But that's also like a 5-second loop, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of tracks in this game are no longer than like 30 seconds. Although I will say the music in this game is somewhat nostalgic for me because I have played this game a lot as a kid. Also, by the way, when you're on these rails, you don't have to control your cart or anything. But when you get hit by lightning, you do.
Which can be very finicky at times.
But if somebody uses the glasses, which are essentially just the blooper, you don't. You can just continue as normal.
Did you know that if you get hit by lightning on the tracks, it's possible to glitch through the tracks?
No.
Yeah, that happened to me before. It's really interesting how that works.
I didn't see that. I think I placed that there myself. Oh, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about a surprise new strat. I'm only going to do this in 1 lap because it's really hard. So you've seen the normal clip, but let's just do a better version of it. And I got that first try. That was so good. Okay, nice. I got hit by that. But
that was so different from what I was imagining, but what the hell?
Yeah, you go backwards, then you clip into that corner, and then you drive backwards. And it skips 2 extra turns.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. So that's actually the best time I got with that. When I was practicing this before the run, this race would take me like 6 minutes at some time.
Yeah, you got both your clips like first try, right?
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Okay, so this minigame is based on the episode The Lake Nose Monster, where Doofenshmirtz uses a submarine at Lake Nose to collect zinc, which he will need for his big laundry. And we need to stop him.
This is actually like my favorite minigame because it's just so simple.
I don't like it because it has RNG at the end, and it's really annoying. It's not as bad as Doof 1 or as Mitch, but Doof's submarine, in the end, is going to be moving randomly. And if it does, you can't actually hit him. I need to wait for him to stop. And most of the time, it's alright, but sometimes he's just going to not stop moving for like 20 seconds. And you can lose a lot of time in this auto-scroller.
Also, we want the piercing shot here because it's just better for the boss.
Yeah. So the yellow item is probably better for the minigame itself because you can just destroy all of these enemies much more easily. But the red item does much more damage. Also, the item drops are not random. So it's kind of unfortunate that I dropped my shield there, but I knew that there are going to be a lot more shields that are going to drop throughout the minigame, so I wasn't too worried. And I will need that because we're going to take damage on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, you can technically do it without a shield as well.
Yeah, it's just a little bit slower.
Yeah, the shield definitely adds a bit more comfort here.
Yeah, now I can just take 3 hits and I don't have to worry about anything. Just need to make it through the auto-scroller.
Yeah, I think you're almost there already.
Yeah, you can see on the left side of the bottom screen where we are in relation to the... Yeah, that's the last shield that you get. There's going to be one more red item if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I am mistaken. We already went past it. Okay, so here we are.
This is the RNG part where they move around.
He is moving. Okay, he is actually moving a lot. Did you see him juking me? Okay, this is really bad. Please stop moving.
Okay, there we go. And now we're just gonna stay here and yeah, hope they don't move again.
Hang on, that's unfortunate.
So there's
Stop
this,
moving, please.
There's this attack where they ram forward and you can still hit them during that.
Yeah. So this is gonna be the laser beam. So you don't have to dodge that, you can just take damage. I actually forgot something. I wanted to show off the cutscene before this game. I'm so used to mashing through the cutscenes, but there's a really funny parry cutscene.
The dog one.
Yeah, but at least we're saving some time because we are behind schedule, so you need to go fast. So this world is the most different now.
It is also the world that in the casual speedrun, like 3 years ago, I say casual because it was definitely a lot more casual back then. It was my most hated one because it was pretty boring and slow and not much exciting, but from what I heard, there's a lot of exciting stuff now. And
yeah, so let's talk about the propeller. Every time you are in the propeller state, you can't get out of it. It's just a cutscene that you have to watch until you reach your goal. However, there is one way you can cancel it, and that is the Candace glitch that we were talking about earlier. So basically, if you take damage and the meter depletes, and you trigger the Candace minigame while you're still in the air, once you are done with it and you quit out of it, your state will be reset. You're going to be still in the air, but if you are, that's actually really funny. Okay, we need to look into that setup to get Phineas in here. We're going to use a nose clip to get out of here. So if you do that, the Candace glitch, your state is going to be reset. You're going to be falling. If you're playing as Phineas, you'll get your double jump back. So you can still move in the air. But there is another way you can get out of the propeller state. But you can't do it to yourself. You gotta get your partner character out of the propeller state. And it's a lot easier to do with Ferb than with Phineas. So what you gotta do is we gotta get Ferb to die, to fall into the death plane. And then we're gonna save the game when he is still in the air, in the propeller. And then when we reload the game, he'll still be in the air, except not in the propeller state. That's not what we want. I'm gonna retry that. Just gotta line the jump up like so. Very good. I'm gonna try to save the game.
I'm already fascinated by the fact that we're doing this world backwards now, and wow.
We're not doing the entire world backwards, unfortunately. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hope that me killing Ferb worked there, because it is kind of finicky. And now what we gotta do is we gotta... Okay, that didn't work. Gotta reload. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna... No, we're gonna do it again. I could do a backup there, but I want to show off the normal strat.
This is huge gap skip, right?
Yes. This trait was found by Zambrini in January of 2020. January of 2020, a long time ago. It was never implemented into runs because nobody really cared about it back then, and I just didn't understand it when I tried to do it.
Yeah, by the way, the reason we can't do this entire world backwards is because of some balloons in the middle of the level.
No.
No,
That's what it is, basically. This is kind of finicky because we want to jump to the left as fast as possible because Ferb is in the air right now, and we want him to go left to land on the big platform to our left. Okay, that's not good. You gotta jump, like, immediately. Like, if I fail this one more time, I'm gonna do the backup, which is still, like, alright.
I'm just surprised by the fact that this is now part of the run.
Okay, I'm gonna do the backup. Never mind. Gotta reload again. It's important that I stay up there. You can't fall down. Yeah, so this is one of those things that are easy in practice, but hard to do in the marathon, but that's alright. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, I just want to save the game as fast as possible. So the backup is, you want to get Ferb to fall down there. You want to save the game again, and then you want to quit out again. And now what we want to do is we want to go to a ledge. Ferb will go to position 0, 0 now. And if we are on the ledge and switch characters and die on the same frame, we are going to not update our position. And this is the super slow backup, which means we are actually going to have to go left again. With the fast backup, you will just stand on the left side of that gap. Unfortunately, you got to save like really quickly for that, and I almost fell down, so I got to go right again. But that's all right.
Yeah, we've got enough time in the estimate for that.
Yeah, that's why the estimate is super high, because like, things can go wrong.
Yeah, this game is very kind to start with, but the moment you get to like this kind of stuff, it gets a bit trickier. Also, I think this clip is also something Licio found.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, we can clip through that fence and die, and then it's going to take us all the way up. Yeah. Okay, so normally you would like come from the right, do this, and then you would go to the left and clip, and then get the toolbox that I just got. Unfortunately, I got the super slow backup, which took me all the way to the left. So the way it works is when you send your partner character into the void, and you save and quit the game, they will not have a stored position. So if you then bring them back, they will go to position 0, 0. And that is normally in the middle of nowhere. Most of the time, you're just gonna like void out, basically. But what we just did there is we sent Ferb to position 0, 0, and then we saved and quit again. So we basically did the same trick again, where we saved Ferb's position while he was in the air, going to position 0, 0. We quit and reloaded the game. And then we just brought Ferb back, did the normal trick, and it took us to where he was going to. And there's a very high wall there that he has to climb. So it is very consistent to do. The only downside is that we are to the left of that one toolbox, so we had to come back for that.
Yeah, well, it's still pretty amazing that that's possible. Oh, also, normally you'd see this cutscene in reverse where they put on the clothes and go into the sea, but somehow the clothes got slapped on randomly.
Yeah. Coming from the left, there's actually a time save you can do, which is known as Vault Ferb, where you skip that animation. And the result of that is that the characters will not be wearing their diver suits in underwater, and Ferb will not have any hair for some reason.
That's because normally I reckon the hair clips out of the helmet if they were to keep it on.
Yeah. So we just did World 4 backwards as far as we could. There is a cliff that we just cannot scale to our current knowledge. If you find a way, please tell us. But yeah, now we have to do the rest of World 4 forwards. So this is what normal gameplay would look like, except like...
Normal?
Yeah. I was gonna say normal gameplay as I was about to clip through that wall.
I mean, to be fair, the drill clip was found by Mathy, I think.
Yeah, all the way back in 2015.
Yeah, and that was when they were casually playing, so... Fun fact, the first time I ran this game, Matty had no video up on the speedrun.com leaderboard. So when I started running this game, I did it without drill clips.
Yeah, that was quite the run.
Yeah, it took 2 hours-ish. But now by this time, we found a lot of tricks that actually don't even require the drill anymore. Neat.
Yeah, so I just saved again because you can void out on this jump. It doesn't normally happen to me anymore, but you know.
Yeah, this jump can be really tricky though. You often get pushed back to the left, and then you try to clip too far, and you get to.
There we go.
Yeah,
you gotta get a little up warp there.
The collision in this game is kind of weird. If you're just when you're inbounds, normally when you get just below platform, it won't put you upwards. But when you're just outside of bounds, the collision will try to pop you back in bounds, but it does that every direction, so also upwards. And we kind of abuse this in some places.
Okay. Now there is actually another abuse of the 0-0 position coming up. So like a month ago, I'm gonna save you, because like, why not? I don't want to void out in this next part. Like a month ago or so, I told Mim, you know what? We've never checked all of the 0-0 positions. Can you please do that? Because I'm too lazy. And then Mim did. And there are a lot of positions to check in this game. And all of them were completely useless. I already knew about the ones in World 4-3 and 4-4, so we didn't have to check them. So the very last one that got checked was World 4-2, where we are right now. And it turns out this one is super useful. Because normally what you're supposed to do here is you have to upgrade the skateboard right here. And that allows you to scale certain cliffs with the skateboard. And we used to do that because skipping it was very slow. You had to do a rather complex propeller manipulation that took a long time to set up. But now we're just gonna send Ferb into the void. We're gonna save the game. Now we're gonna quit out of the game.
I thought all the 0-0 positions got checked years ago. Jeez.
Apparently they didn't.
Granted, we probably did and forgot. There was no good noting down of things back then.
Yeah, a lot of strats were found in 2019 by Zambrini that never got really documented.
Yeah.
Like, they were posted on Discord, but like people just forgot about them. And then they were slowly rediscovered last year. Yeah, so this is just going to take us right to the end of this level. And we can skip upgrading the skateboard.
This is totally normal gameplay, by the way. We're going forward, so you know it's normal.
Yeah, true. Yeah, normal gameplay is just watching that propeller cutscene for a long time. And we're going to do it again in a moment. There we go. And this was also found by Zambrini. This was introduced into the run last autumn. Because initially we were using the fishing rod to make a jump here. And this trick let us route out the fishing rod completely.
By the way, the smoke collision there is absolutely amazing. It messes up completely when you go upwards.
Yeah. So now we're going to collect this toolbox while still out of bounds. Now we're just going to walk through the wall and double jump and hop it into the loading zone. There we go.
And is this the side section of World 4?
Yeah, this is in World 4-3.
And what I talked about earlier with the collision popping you upwards is what we're actually going to do here, because we're slightly out of bounds, so the game wants to pop us back inbounds, and it does that upwards rather than sidewards.
Yeah, we're like halfway in that platform.
So now we can do another clip here, where we go to the right. And we're just going to quickly pick up a toolbox here. Normally, we'd go further into the level and you'd have to go up a ramp as well as through a door.
Yeah, you're supposed to come from the right here and you're not supposed to clip through this section, of course.
Yeah, but this is a lot faster.
Yeah. So in World 4-2, where we just were, there is a massive roadblock where Candace is blocking your path. And it's like pretty much impossible to skip her, or like it was thought to be impossible. A while ago, we did find a way using nose clips. But back then, we just couldn't find a way to skip her. And then in January of this year, I thought, you know what? Why don't we just go into the subsection and clip out of it and go to this part of the level like immediately and skip all of Candace?
Yeah, you just blew my mind. I did not think we would go to the left there. I thought we were going back in.
No, of course not. Like, why wouldn't we? Like, this means a lot of backtrack. Oh, it used to mean a lot of backtracking. But now we do the rest of World 4 backwards, so we don't even have to go to the right again after this.
That's
also,
amazing.
I just jumped too early, so it's gonna... Yeah, I jumped too early, mistimed that.
Oh
So
well.
it's very long now. I might not even make it. I might need to try again.
Oh, by the way, there's this
Yeah.
weird thing with the propeller where if you land on a balloon or something and it pops, you can get this weird state where you kind of get glitchy. I don't know how it works actually.
I don't know exactly what you mean right now, because also because I was focusing.
Well, if you land into the water and the propeller jetpacks lands you on a balloon, and then the balloon pops, you get this weird state with the propeller.
You mean the no collision thing?
Yeah, no
Does
collision.
that also work with that? It also works with trampolines. That's
yeah,
how we normally do it.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. There are a lot of other ways to get no collision, but that's the easiest one. There's even a way to get no floor collision, but that's not really useful.
Yeah, not too practical, I reckon.
Almost dropped my stylus there. But this is the last minigame, and this is the most boring one. Actually, no, we can show off the messages that we get here. Like, somebody paid for German, so you gotta see the German text.
Right, right. We also gotta show the last dove cutscene.
Yeah, of course. You mean the one after the fight or before?
Whichever one you prefer, really.
Like, normally I just watch the last one. At least when I get a PB. Okay, so this is the surfing course. It's not exciting at all. Oh, there you are, Perry. Oh yeah, we gotta skip that like that. So here you are supposed to go over these ramps and perform tricks. Normally we don't do that because it's slower, but like, I don't even remember what they were. Like, these are tricks that I know work. Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
But you can also input a bunch of random button combinations that won't do anything. Oops.
Oops. And then you have also, when you fail, you also have a really fun message.
Like, how do you fail? You just gotta not
Just
do anything.
drive into something.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's oops again. Well, I know there are some other messages here as well, but that's just oops.
You have to, like, so getting yellow toolboxes get you secret moves, and those secret moves also
Cool.
get you more combos. Yeah, so if you drive into some logwood here, you get...
Das war nix.
Yep.
I like that one.
It's hilarious.
What does it say in Dutch? Wunderbar.
Something, I forgot what, but it's hilarious. Like, something you wouldn't normally say.
Well, das war nix would mean that was nothing.
Oh, no, in Dutch it's like... I don't remember, what was it? Oh well. Next time
Oops.
people gotta donate in Dutch then.
Or you can just watch one of the old runs.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to pay.
Speaking of donations, maybe we've got something?
Yes, we got something. We firstly got €6 from Cruel saying 1400 hype. But unfortunately, Cruel, it's not 1400 at the moment because we also got a €150 donation from Tiny Tim saying, "Hey all, donating for tylltoons and the Phineas and Ferb run. Shoutouts to the amazing someone in commentary. You are a fantastic person and it's an honor to call you a friend. Also, let's not see the hack in Darkest Dungeon. Cheers, and with that, we get the blindfolded hack fight in Darkest Dungeon."
And thank you so much, Tiny Tim.
Yeah, that's... They said they'd get me back. I guess this is what they meant.
Yeah, because you paid for dinner and for lunch yesterday.
Oh, there. Oh, by the way, I think we failed the minigame, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to win in this game. Okay, so this is the final level based on the episode Atlantis. This time we are in Doof's blimp, I believe is the English word. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, so we gotta fight these piranha plants. They are color-coded. The green ones die in 1 hit, the blue ones take 2 hits, and the red ones take 3 hits. You gotta make sure that you don't mash, because if you mash too hard, you do this like auto combo, but you want to just hit the button once, and then you just do 1 hit, and you don't need to watch that cutscene of Harry slashing.
Yeah, so you gotta rhythmically mash better than just matching away.
So wall boosting also works in this fight. Also, you can just clip through the door, and it's really easy, but you actually have to kill all of the plants. Like, you can't just clip into the next room, because the plants will not spawn. You have to kill these first.
Yeah, and the boss fight is on the roof, so you can't get there.
Yeah, you can't clip into the fight. Like, you have to kill all 60 plants, and only then will the final boss fight trigger. Okay, so yeah, this is super random. Normally the strategy is you want to get them to group up so you don't really have to move anywhere. This was a rather unlucky second room. Let's see how the third room is going to go.
Yeah, the third room is mostly filled with big plants.
Yeah.
Speaking about big plants, guess what the boss is?
Yeah. guess now. I got a very lucky third room yesterday where I did not move at all and I just killed like 15 at once. This is already looking like alright. I don't really have to move. I also don't really have to worry about taking damage. By the way, if you die in the final boss fight, you have to do this again. But luckily the final boss fight is not that difficult.
Yeah, how the final boss fight's gonna... I still find it interesting. Like, we're in the control room of the thing now and we're going upstairs for some reason.
Yeah. I actually think the final boss fight is really hard casually. But if you know how to do it, it's super easy.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going up to the roof where I won't talk.
I also don't really know how that works. Is there a staircase through the entirety of the blimp? Or you just cut out for a moment, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is...
Verflucht seist du, Perry, das Schnabeltier.
Oh, you can hear it the best in this minigame, really.
I think I really like the Dutch voice clip just because it takes forever.
Vervloekt, Perry, het vogelbekdier.
In the first boss fight, you already fight him while he still says that.
Yeah.
It takes forever.
So yeah, three-headed plant, then Doof comes down, calls a norm bot, or we actually don't even get the chance to call a norm bot.
Yeah, if you miss, he's gonna call a norm bot. And he's gonna fly to some random destination.
Yeah, the reason this fight is kind of hard casually is because you might not know how to manipulate a plant, but it's literally just standing on the opposite side from where it spawns.
Also, it's kind of hard to hit Doof sometimes because of depth perception. But time is coming up, there's just one more hit on Doof, and then time is when the success message appears. Or gewonnen, I guess. Gewonnen!
Gewonnen! Time!
Right. So that's Phineas and Ferb right again, or Phineas and Ferb volle Fahrt. He says, verflucht seist du, Perry, das Schnabeltier, but the text box says, ich verfluche dich, Perry, das Schnabeltier. So you got, fangt ihn. Now he's gonna send his minions after Perry, who's not impressed at all. Ah, nicht mich!
And Perry just goes, gorgle the gorgle. Or whatever it is.
Can you do a Perry sound effect?
No, but in Dutch, the text book says gorgle the gorgle the gorgle, which is really funny.
Yeah, it also says gorgle gorgle in German.
Well, the capture device does something weird, so there we go.
Good thing that the capture card cut out after the run. Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still
on. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, shout out to the Phineas and Ferb community, shout out to everyone watching, shout out to Real Mim for breaking this game recently, finding a lot of strats. Shout out to someone for being here by my side.
Thanks for
inviting me. Shout out to
Tiny
Tim for the donations, shout out to my friends watching at the Girafari Gaming Discord server. And I don't know what's next, but I'm sure you can tell us.
Of course I can thank you, but first thank you for this amazing run of Phineas and Ferb right again. We loved it, and I think the crowd loved it as well. So next up we got Avatar The Last Airbender Into the Inferno, Our Lotus Shards by Cypher. But first we're going into the intermission, and don't worry chat, stream will cut out for a really short moment, but we will be back within a few seconds again. So please stay tuned.